I'm Caleb. Please like and subscribe.
What in the world?
What in the world?
Holly, kick us off.
Okay, so I have three specific topics that I am kind of like flabbergasted about. The first one for what in the world we're gonna say would have to be that $100 million of gold, equating to 3,600 pounds, was stolen from the largest airport in Canada.
Yeah.
Just taken. And I have tried to find like what exactly, how did this happen? There's nothing that explains how this actually happens. How can somebody get away with 3,600 pounds? That's a small car.
Yeah.
Why was there 3,600 pounds of gold at the airport?
Well, I think it's like a transport. Like that's where, like the hub they send it to, and then it gets distributed out from there. If I like read that correctly.
That makes sense.
Like, yeah,
Favorite
it's crazy.
Copperfield, that's how.
To me, I automatically thought like inside job.
Yeah.
Inside job, because how does that just disappear? Like I need details.
Well,
I need more details, and I have yet to see them. So
It's going to be in a movie.
you have to watch Fast and Furious
Heist,
1 through
the gold
12.
heist. Yeah.
1 through 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one kind of has me crazy. The second one that's happening in the world is in Paris. Yesterday, there was protesters that took over the stock exchange. And that was, and the crazy thing is I didn't see much news on it. Like, I literally read an article and like, covered once, and then that's all I heard. So it's not on, the world news on TV or anything, which I found was very crazy. But what I'm trying to understand is what is the benefit from storming the stock building, like the stock exchange building, for these protesters? Like, what really is that going to solve?
I like their flares, though.
The flares were, go for it.
I was waiting for the sprinkler system to go off.
Me too.
Those flares were shooting this high. They're like, oh, huge pink flames. We're like, yeah, set that sprinkler system off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it kind of feels like people are getting they're uneasy. They're about just things in the world that are happening, right? Like I feel like it's a lot of unrest happening, and it's only going to happen more and more. So
people are tired. They're tired of being taken advantage of. They're tired of being governed by people that don't give a crap about them. They're tired of rising prices while wages stay the same. They're just tired. And you can't keep people down forever. Eventually they will rise up. That's what every revolutionary war that's ever been fought has been about. And
yes.
I feel like we're closer to that now than at any other point in my entire life, which I know is only like 48 years or 49, however old I am. But still, there's a lot of unrest in the world. And
a lot. And I know a little bit behind what caused this like protest, or whatever you want to call it, is they're raising the retirement from 62 to 64 or 65. I can't remember which one, but that all in itself, you think, oh, I'm 62, I can retire, and then now they want to extend it a couple more years. That's shitty. I would be pissed too. So
well, we're not too.
The fact that they tell you when you can retire kind of messed up to begin with.
Right. All this money you put into retirement, you can't have it at 100% unless you're at a certain age, which is crap.
Well, but here's the other thing too. What's the United States going to do when there is no Social Security?
That's what I want to know. I'm waiting on that.
Because it's coming. But I will tell you, when it does, who's going to be mad when that happens? All the people that are retired or getting ready to retire, right?
Who's been paying every single paycheck that they get.
Yeah, but if you're in your 20s or 30s, you're probably not going to give a crap. You know what I mean? Because remember when... I get it, but I mean, like, when we're that age, these kids aren't going to care. And those are the ones that we need to rise up. And that's how things get thrown through without much hassle, because the people that actually care aren't physically able to do anything about it anymore. And I think I'm going to be in that boat, because I don't
Well,
think
I mean, let's
seeing
just be
Social Security.
honest. I think for me, now that you say that, in my early 20s, when I started getting actual paychecks and stuff and seeing where my money's going, I don't think I cared. I was like, what the hell I'm paying this to give, to give to somebody over there. I didn't really care. But now that I'm getting
Right.
older, I'm like, holy crap, because I may be in that little, group of people who may not have retirement or Social Security because it's done.
Yeah.
So,
And if you get the majority of the 20-year-olds that don't care, then nothing's going to
Right.
happen whenever it does go down. But
right.
yeah, for the people, or by the people, for the people. What, I said that wrong. But our government is not representing us. They're going in there with their own interests, their own agendas. They're supposed to be voting and representing the districts that they're coming out of and the regions that they're coming out from. And something's going to give.
Are those young kids in Chicago that were destroying stores and beating up people?
Yeah,
And the
just
governor comes
trashing
out and
people
says it's
and-
just protesting.
Yeah, what'd they say?
He just said it was protesting.
Yeah, like there was nothing wrong with it,
Yeah.
and blah blah blah. I mean, stores are like closing down in San Francisco and Chicago, saying we aren't coming back because we can't take the losses.
Yeah.
Because in some areas, crime isn't a crime until it hits a certain dollar amount. So people just walk in the stores, take $100 less than that, walk out, do that 2 or 3 times a day. They're not buying nothing. Those stores aren't there to give it away for free.
No.
And eventually, even if you have insurance on that, people are going to say, sorry, we're not covering you. Or your
Right.
premium will be so
happening.
high you can't afford
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's ridiculous, but I'm with you. It's all, there's just a lot of unrest. That's the best way to put it, I think. And
Yeah, there's a ton.
It's something big gonna happen.
yeah,
It's coming.
That's what-
Yeah.
Yeah, something real big.
The storms are brewing.
yeah.
Storms are brewing.
And part of me is like, okay, so how much of this was going on prior to me starting to care? Because I feel like when I was younger, I didn't pay attention to world things.
Yeah.
And now that I'm getting older, I'm starting to really see how crooked things are. And they're only getting worse. But has this been going all along?
At some
We do-
degree.
Yeah, I think so.
Blind eye to it? Like,
At some
I
degree,
agree, though.
but at the same time, at least in America, I believe it's getting worse and worse and worse. I think
feels
that
like it.
some of the things behind the closed doors have always been happening, but now that it's being exposed, they're just like, who cares?
Yeah.
Whereas you would have been thrown out of office 20 years ago for some of the same things that are happening now at the representative level, at the House level, at the Senate level. But now it's just like, there was some crazy video about, read off all these charges of all these things, and they were telling you it was all about NFL players, and like how many of them did like all this crazy crime, and at the end of it goes, and by the way, that's not really the NFL, that's the House of Representatives.
oh
And
my God.
I may have to find that and retweet that video because it's insane. It is different rules for different people.
Well, I think the reason that we're seeing it more and more is strictly because of the internet. I
Oh, yeah.
truly believe that, because just think of like when we were younger and the internet didn't really exist.
Mhm.
You didn't hear about I mean, there's certain things that I didn't even know about until I got older and had more access to see these things because of the internet.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by, I think it's always been going on. It's just now it's just so in your face because we have the luxury of seeing it online opposed to what the media just wants to show us.
Yeah.
Well,
We actually know what's really going on.
I agree with that, but I also think the moral decay is a real thing. Like,
You think?
people
That's sad.
used to be able to, like, you could buy big ticket items with a handshake, and then you couldn't do that anymore because people would back out of it and say, I never agreed to that. And now,
Yeah.
it's just a man's and a human's word is not worth anything anymore. Like, the people that are close to me know that if I tell them I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it, right?
Yeah.
But if I went up to somebody in Vegas and said, "Hey, man, you give me $50, I'll give you $100 tomorrow for it," it's like, the hell with you,
Right.
because no one in general keeps their word. The moral decay is a real thing, and people are really more and more so showing true colors, and they're in it for themselves, and they don't care about their fellow man. And just like our government will spend money on crazy things while we got homeless people living in the streets,
Right.
it's insane to me.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. The world has gone mad.
It has.
So on to the last one that I wanted to touch on in what the world is on 420 Elon Musk decided to anybody who does not pay for Twitter Blue, and
funny.
even if they were legacy, they took away the blue check mark. And
They did
I
what?
yeah, like
What?
my whole feed is from these celebrities, journalists crying and begging Elon to change his mind because this is life or death.
If people are going to impersonate me,
Yeah.
And how much is Twitter Blue?
8 or 11.
Yeah, it's $11 on iOS, $8 on what's it called?
Android.
The web.
Android?
No, browser.
Oh,
You go through your browser,
Oh,
it's $8.
yeah.
and these are celebrities crying about $11 a month?
Yeah, and Elon is actually like saying, "Well, I'll pay for yours." Are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me?
I asked him today, I was like, "Will you pay for mine?"
I saw that. Yeah.
Right. I saw that. I commented on it because the word entitlement
Yeah.
is probably the best word that I've heard used in this circumstance, because it's really shining a light on the people who think they are entitled to be, get more benefit than the average Joe.
It's hilarious.
That's crazy to me. And those people have way more money, make way more money for far less, number one, of the average Joe. So for them to be complaining over, oh, it's life or death because somebody's going to impersonate me and make me look a way that I'm not. Well, guess what? Welcome to everybody else who has felt like that. Go ahead.
I was just say, how hilarious is it though that people that get paid to pretend to be other people, because that's what actors are, right? They impersonate or they pretend to be other people, are worried about people
Being
pretending to be
impersonated.
them. Like, the irony in that is hilarious to me.
Even before I had my blue check mark, some people think that I pay for Twitter Blue because of the check mark. When in reality, I like the features. I like that my icon is pink. Love it.
Yeah.
I also I don't know, I bookmark my tweets and I can organize them, and I actually can organize my Twitter, and I am like a stickler on organization. It is an OCD thing that I have.
High five, Holly. High five.
Yeah. And so to me, that's a benefit all in itself, and the fact that I can edit my tweet because I'm like queen of typos. So there's other benefits than the blue check mark in my eyes. And I had, somebody had came at me over like novels, like wrote me tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet saying, that we're being swindled and we're dumbasses because we're paying for Twitter Blue and all this stuff. People have preferences, right? Like that's just the way it is. My preference is to pay for it because I like all the extra. I can give two shits about the check mark, which you can obviously tell because I changed my profile picture like I changed my clothes. And when you do that, your blue mark goes away. So if I really cared, I wouldn't have, I wouldn't ever change my profile picture.
Yeah.
So that's like a stupid thing all in itself. But if you get impersonated, and let me tell you, like, I'm sure if these, actors, actresses, and people honestly cared about impersonation, they would report those people. And what you do is they send you a email that says, okay, to prove that this is, you know, you're being impersonated, provide the front and back of your ID. You do that, I swear to you, within a day, that impersonator is gone and done, with or without your stupid blue check mark.
Yeah.
It's happened. I've had my fair share, and every time I provide my ID, they take it down within either hours or a day. So if you're really that, you know, worried about it, you're going to be okay. Well, report the tweet, show your ID, you're good to go.
How many of those people pay somebody to manage their social profiles anyways?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like half the time it may be certified whoever, but it doesn't mean that's who's typing the keys.
100, it's absolutely not for probably a good 80% of the people that are on Twitter that are actresses or actors.
Agreed. And it's funny to me that they're the ones that are the most upset about it. I find that hilarious.
Right.
It's just,
you're making my assistant work harder.
All the things in the world to be upset about, we're upset about the blue check mark and the $8. It's just from people that absolutely can afford it. It's just dumb. But yeah, I think that's a good one to end on.
I think it is too.
If anybody else got anything else to say,
yeah.
All right, let's shut it down.
I'm Caleb. Please like and subscribe.